How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a fantastic day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button. That way you guys don't miss out on future videos and streams here on the channel. You guys can also, of course, hang out with me on Discord at 6957, the Texas Man. Sorry that I'm recording this video. I haven't finished my quote-unquote coffee. So bear with me, and this is going to be kind of a video like essay, not so much a rant, but more of a video essay and kind of like a podcast talking about what's going on with Star Wars. If you guys know, I love Star Wars. I grew up watching Star Wars. I remember the first time of me watching the original trilogy on VHS. Yes, that's how old I am. I remember watching the original trilogy on VHS, and there was times where on Friday and Saturday nights, I'd have my friends over or my family was over, and we would binge watch all three back to back to back to back, and then we'd do it again. That's how much I love the original trilogy. That's how much I love Star Wars. Played several, I think almost all of the games, and old and new stuff. And so recently, right now, they've got Star Wars Celebration going on. Obviously, I didn't get invited, or I didn't want to go. It's kind of weird that Star Wars Celebration is happening this weekend on Easter weekend. I think it's kind of just bizarre. I mean, it's the beginning of April. I figured Star Wars Celebration, you'd think that would happen like, I don't know, during May, like May the 4th or Revenge of the 5th or Return of the 6th. But I guess it's happening a month early. And I feel the reason they're doing that is so it doesn't collide with what's going on with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I will be covering here on the channel when that launches in a couple weeks here at the end of April. But they've announced that we're getting Star Wars Acolyte and a bunch of other stuff. So I want to go over what I'm excited for in terms of what's coming out new-wise for Star Wars. So first of all, we are getting that Star Wars Acolyte show. They're kind of keeping things under wrap as to what exactly it's all about. But I'm excited nonetheless. It looks interesting. We are getting the Star Wars Ahsoka show, so that's going to be the next big main Star Wars show that's coming out on Disney Plus after Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3 wraps up in a couple weeks. And that's supposed to come out, Ahsoka. It's supposed to come out in August. Obviously, I'm excited. I love Ahsoka, Clone Wars, Rebels, and Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. And I'm excited that she's getting her own show. I hope it focuses on Ahsoka. My biggest fear is that it feels like, based on the leaked trailer that we have gotten and the teaser trailer that we've gotten, it's that it's going to have Sabine, it's going to have Hera, Zeb, Chopper. Obviously, Grand Admiral Thrawn is back, and somehow, Ezra Bridger is going to be back. So I hope that the Ahsoka show focuses on Ahsoka, and that the show is not Star Wars Rebels Season 5, The Search for Ezra. As much as I love the Rebels characters and I love the Rebels show, I don't want it to be the primary focus. If you're going to call your show Ahsoka, focus on Ahsoka. If you're going to focus on the search for Ezra Bridger, you should have titled the show something else. My biggest fear is that Ahsoka is just going to be a background character and not a main character of her own show. Kind of like what's happening with Mandalorian Season 3, where Din Djarin's not the focus. It's more focused on Bo-Katan and her getting the Darksaber and retaking Mandalore. So I hope that the Ahsoka show doesn't fall into that trap. And then, of course, they announced 3 Star Wars movies. They also announced that we are getting Andor Season 2. That has been confirmed. We're going to be getting that late 2024. Kind of odd that we're having to wait almost 2 years for a whole season. As much as I do love Andor, I mean, I have it on disc and I love rewatching it on occasion on Disney Plus. I think it's weird that we're having to wait 2 years for a whole new season of Andor. Andor didn't really get a lot of excitement and hype, and I think that's because of the disaster that was Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. A lot of people are tuning out, and people think, Andor got bad. Well, just look at Mandalorian Season 3. Not a lot of people care. So I think it's weird that they're waiting that long, and I think by the time Andor Season 2 does roll around, people are not going to care about wanting to watch Andor Season 2 unless they watched Andor Season 1 like me and really enjoyed it, or actually care. So it'll be interesting to see how Season 2 does. I feel, though, like Andor is probably only going to get 2 seasons in total. If it gets a 3rd season, I'm going to be blown away because we already know what happens to the Andor character in Rogue One. And so there's only so much prequel stuff that can be done before your audience just doesn't much care. And then the 3 Star Wars movies that they announced, we are getting a Star Wars movie that takes place a couple thousand years before the Old Republic. So we're going to be seeing the beginning parts of people learning how to use the Force, and of course, all the different factions wanting to use that power for good or evil. So we're going to start seeing the beginning parts of the Jedi, the Sith, Mandalorian bounty hunters, and all that stuff, which would lead into the Old Republic. And based on how that movie does, maybe we can get an Old Republic trilogy of films. The second movie that they announced that we're getting has been confirmed that we're getting a movie from Dave Filoni, and it's going to be the culmination conclusion of Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Ahsoka. So it's going to be a big movie event in that sense that's going to conclude what is happening in that part of the timeline for Star Wars. And then the third movie that has been announced is that we're getting a episode like 10, where it's going to be taking place 15 years after the ending of Rise of Skywalker, and Rey Skywalker is going to be trying to rebuild the Jedi Order after the events of Episode 9. I'm excited for all 3 of those movies. Not so much Episode 10 necessarily, because I think the sequel trilogy kind of was garbage. It had its moments, but it was generally not as good as the prequels or the original trilogy. And hopefully this film takes place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker can possibly kick off a new trilogy, a new era that avoids all that garbage that was produced with those 3 movies, and they focus on telling good stories, good characters, plots, new planets, and such. So I'm excited, but I'm cautiously, optimistically excited for the future of Star Wars and the shows. So I will be reviewing all that stuff, whether it's good or bad, here on the channel in the coming months and years. So look forward to that stuff coming out soon. You guys have a great day. Let me know in the comment section down below. What are you guys excited for or not excited for when it comes to the Star Wars franchise? Or are you guys just completely checked out of what Disney is doing with the Star Wars brand as a whole? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys all in the next video or stream. Bye, guys.